Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review on the Vali Lancer boxing gloves. So stay tuned. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review on the Vali Lancer boxing gloves. I got mine in the green and gold colorway, 14 ounces in lace up. You can also get this glove in Velcro, anywhere between 12 and 18 ounces with a total. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review on the Vali Lancer boxing gloves. I got mine in this green and gold colorway, 14 ounces in lace up. You can also get this model in Velcro, anywhere between 12 and 18 ounces with a total of 7 different colorways to choose from. It's made of full genuine leather throughout the entire glove with a smooth tricot liner on the inside with multi-layer foam padding with a medium to firm density, and the gloves are manufactured in Pakistan. Now this is going to be essentially the second iteration of the original Lancer boxing gloves, which I did a review on a while back. And essentially what Vali has done is they have improved the hand ergonomics and the type of foam they use in this newest version. They've also added a couple more colorways to the Lancer lineup. Most notably is this green and gold. They also have kind of a white and fuchsia colorway. And if you're thinking what I'm thinking already, this glove looks very similar to another brand out there. I know what you're saying. It's going to be the Fly Super Lace Lightning Boxing Glove. It pretty much looks identical in terms of the design, where you have kind of that lightning bolt looking design with the contrasting colors with the gold and the green. And you also have that lightning bolt design right there on the palm. And Vali basically told me they just really liked the way those gloves look and wanted to make a more affordable alternative to the Fly Super Lace gloves. I can understand the thought process behind that, although I'm not a big fan of copying the aesthetics of another brand to the T. I feel like, yes, a lot of times you see manufacturers, they'll copy other brands and come out with a similar design. But I always think that if you're gonna do that, kind of put your own twist on it and make it your own a little bit, rather than just going completely off of another brand's look. That way it doesn't feel like it's just a direct copy. It feels like it's more like get your inspiration from someone else and then you can make your own. So, that's kind of how I feel. I kind of feel 50-50 when it comes to design. The design itself looks great. I just feel like maybe if they added their own twist to the gloves, that would make it even better. From a design standpoint, this is their 14-ounce version. So I'd say for a 14-ounce glove, size profile wise, it's pretty much a perfect size. It's not too wide. It's not too tall. You can see the leather on here has a smooth satin finish to it. It's not very greeny. It doesn't really have like a really deep texture. You do have the Vali logo on the back of the glove. One thing is the logos on here. I feel like they can improve their logo. I just feel like, yes, it's very simplistic, but I feel like they could do a little bit more. I feel like it's just a very basic logo. I feel like they should incorporate something that kind of gives it a little bit more of a edgier design, in my opinion, which is kind of rare that I say that, but I feel like they can do that. The other thing is that the logos on the gloves were a little bit crooked. You can see this one's a little bit kind of slanted, and the other glove is the same thing. It has kind of a little bit of a slant to it, where it should be kind of perfectly across. You do have the cross stitching on the back of the wrist support, again very similar to the Fly Super Lace gloves, with the Vali logo right here at the bottom, gold piping at the very bottom. You have, I'd say, maybe 1.5 inches of medium density foam on the back of the wrist. The inside of the wrist is about maybe 1/2 inch of firm density foam on the inside of the wrist that goes up to right about here. And right here you can see where the stitching is, as well as the indentation. You do have gold piping throughout the entire glove, as well as gold. The gold on here is more of a subdued gold. It's not like a metallic or a very sparkly gold. It has more of like a pearlescent kind of gold look to it. You also have the gold laces that are round with plastic tips. I wish the laces were longer. These laces are definitely too short, and I can't really even go around the glove to get up right here. So if you try to really tighten it down, as you can see, The laces can't really go all the way around and they'll really lock your wrist in. So I feel that the laces are too short. Coming onto the palm, you do have that lightning bolt design with the ventilated holes on both the top and below. The grip bar. Grip bar is pretty large and nice and firm. I showed you guys the thumb already with the green attached thumb right there. So overall, a very clean looking glove. I like the way it looks, although it is a copy pretty much of the Fly Super Lace Lightning Boxing Glove. Quality wise, the gloves are actually pretty solid. The leather on here is pretty much your standard Pakistan leather. If you've had any other glove out there, you know, the vast majority, 85–90% of gloves that are made out there are going to be made in Pakistan. But the leather on here is pretty standard in that regard. The stitching is actually done really nicely, especially the areas like the thumb. You know, you have that extra stitching to kind of give you that lightning bolt design. And they've done a really good job with that. The biggest area of concern with this glove, aside from the short laces, which you can easily correct that by removing and putting new laces in, you know, that's an easy fix. What's not an easy fix is going to be, one, the logos being crooked, and two, the weight. So these are advertised as a 14-ounce glove, and when I put them on the scale, the right glove came in at 15.8 ounces, and the left glove was 14.8. So not only are they both overweight, but the right glove is almost 2 ounces over its advertised weight, where the left glove is 1 ounce over pretty much 1 ounce over its advertised weight. So not only are they both overweight, but the gloves themselves aren't even the same weight as each other. And when you pick them up, you can kind of notice it with the right glove. It feels a little bit heavier than the left glove. So they definitely got to fix that. But outside of that, everything else about the glove is pretty solid. You can see the back stitching on the back of the wrist support looks really clean. Coming to the outside edges, everything is done pretty nicely. Even on the palm, it looks all clean. The outside edge on the pinky side looks really good. That cross stitching on the back of the wrist looks good. Gold piping is done nicely. Inside liner, no tears or any exposed foam, so that looks good as well. The inside also has a tag, just basically your standard warning label at the very bottom. It says made in Pakistan, and it also has the weight on the inside right there. And show you guys the palm side again. So in terms of stitching, everything looks pretty solid. No issues in terms of the stitching, and the leather itself is consistent pretty much throughout the entire glove. In terms of weight distribution, you can see the glove has a good amount of balance to it. So if I grab the bottom cuff or the top of the glove, you don't have that big floppy sagging feeling with the glove. So the distribution of foam throughout the entire glove, they've done really nicely. Comfort wise, sliding my hand into the glove, I do love the liner. A lot of companies use that smooth tricot liner rather than, it's kind of like more of like a foamier liner, but it's not like the satin liners, those polyester satin liners that are nice as well, but sometimes when it comes to the hand compartment, you usually have a little excess and it can kind of bunch up in certain areas around your pinky or around your index finger. But this liner feels really good. Thumb placement is actually perfect. And the piping here is large enough to accommodate that big fat part of the bottom base of my thumb right here. So really nice in that regard. Wrist support feels really good. Thumb position is perfect. When I pull my fingers down to curl up and make a fist, it does not pull down on the tip of the thumb to where I feel like my thumb jams into the end of the thumb right there. And the finger compartment is actually a great size too. A good amount of width, not too wide and not too narrow, and there's a little piece of neoprene that covers the bottom portion of the finger pocket right there. And there's also kind of like a softer liner on the inside. That tricot liner they use, but it feels kind of foamy and softer. So rather than your hand hitting against the actual foam itself, they actually put like a softer foam against your fingers so that it feels a little bit more luxurious. I do like that. So in terms of the inside, it does feel very comfortable, and it does have a semi-broken in feel. They're not extremely broken in, but they're not ultra stiff. I'd say they're right there in the middle. And the stiffness has more to do with the foam, which is probably my least favorite thing about the glove, being a little bit more on the dense side. So protection and performance wise, I'd say that these are a little bit more on the protective, shock absorbent side. The foam on here is definitely more on the denser side. You know, once you start to use these more and break them in, it'll soften it up a bit, but it's definitely on the denser side. So good for shock absorption. If you're looking for something a little bit more rigid, then this is the type of foam for you. If you're looking for something a little bit more feedback, something that sinks in a little bit more, these are okay. I wish the foam, if I were to kind of critique it, I wish the foam was a little bit softer and a little bit more form-fitting. I feel like it has a little bit more of a roundness to it. And again, once you start using these, this will break in, but I do feel that it would have been nicer with a little bit softer of an exterior foam. That way when you land, you kind of get a little bit more of a form-fitting type landing feeling with the glove rather than this more of this round. So definitely more on the denser side. You get a decent amount of crack and feel out of this padding, but definitely again, more on the protective end. Cost-wise, depending on the colorway and size you get, they're anywhere between $88 to $90, which is actually a really good price. It's a very fair price, all things considered. All things considered with the leather, all full leather construction, a very comfortable hand compartment, solid padding. I'd say that the issues that they need to correct obviously are going to be the weight control issues with these being on point with weight, some of the logos being a little bit off, longer laces. So that, you know, the lace thing, that's very, very minimal. But at $88, $88 to $90, just depending on what you get, they do offer a good variety of sizes and colorways. So there you have that. And with everything else kind of going up inflation, you're starting to see a lot more gloves out there that used to be more, you know, more affordable or more expensive. Even Reyes gloves used to be, you know, I think at one point in time they were like $160, $170, and now Reyes are like $230. So, you know, that's kind of with everything else. So at the price of $88 to $90, I think that's a really good deal for this glove, all things considered. The only thing I'd say is they just really need to dial in some of the small quality issues. And once they do that, and maybe put some softer foam on it or give you at least the option for maybe like a horsehair version, then I think they would have a winner, especially at this price point. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do as usual, put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find the Vali Lancer boxing gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.